I was thinking about this the other day, and I kind of just want to hear your thoughts about it because I kind of thought it was funny. But do you think there's anyone else in our graduation class that would be crazy enough to believe that people would listen to them in a podcast?
Yeah, I do actually. I do.
Yeah.
I think I
Okay.
do.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I mean, a lot of those guys are kind of like the boys that I think we hung out with.
True.
I mean, maybe that's just because I hear them talk about it a lot too. But I feel like a lot of the boys have talked about one point and another, just being like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, let's do a podcast or let's just talk about something. Let's start like a YouTube channel." I mean, that's what
Yeah. That's
literally
true.
half of the boys in our group
Yep.
did, like in high
Yep.
school, was just start YouTube channels, and we were like
Yep.
screwing around, like trying to, do
Yeah.
skits and stuff. I mean, it was mostly for fun, but still, I could see it. Anyone
Hmm.
else though? Why, do you have someone in mind?
No, I was just like, I kind of just cracked up because I was like, I couldn't think of much people, at
Yeah.
least like at Iolani and stuff, that would kind of just be crazy enough just to like throw their ideas and do this talking thing and everything.
Yeah, no one
Yeah,
quite
just
as delusional as us two, but
yeah.
um
Yeah, I feel like maybe we can like go into sharing with the audience kind of what we're doing here compared to our competition episodes. As most of you guys probably know, me and Carter have been best of friends, really good friends for I think 13 years now. So half our lives about. And I think what we're kind of doing here, and I think a big motivation for me, at least with this podcast, was just to be able to stay in contact because, we're both busy with just our normal lives, work, and everything. Unfortunately, we don't get to talk as much as I would like to, or maybe as much as you would like to, too, and stuff. So, this is kind of serving as a conversation. I think we're calling it coffee conversations or morning talks, something along those lines. But it's a way for us to one catch up and then also share about maybe a duo, maybe two duos that have been on our mind recently, and we've kind of just been reflecting on for our own lives and maybe how it applies to a bigger picture of how we can be better collaborators with the world or people around us. So yeah, that's
love
kind of
it.
what this is about. Carter, you got anything you want to add to that?
Loved what you said there. Yeah, and I'm just happy, get to wake up early in the morning. It's actually better for me because it's always been a goal for me to wake up
Yeah,
earlier. I don't know how early you wake up,
yeah.
but it's nice to wake up, talk story with you in the morning, get the day started on a good note. And like you said, we've been friends, yeah, since middle school, the start of middle school. So we got a lot of history, and since then we've kind of moved into two separate places. You're in Portland, I'm in LA. So this podcast is just, yeah, a nice thing to have, to be able to stay connected and to
Mhm.
discuss duos like ourselves that influence us, and do shape our world, for the
Mhm.
better or for the worse. So
Mhm.
yeah, excited
Yes, sir.
about this podcast.
We've told the story of how me and Carter kind of came up with this idea of the podcast on the beach and everything, and it's cool just to get the momentum now going, and see it like the bones, the foundation starting to be put together and everything. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, juiced about it.
No, it's just there's something about like us just talking like this too, because we've never seen ourselves like either of us with these kind of setups before
You
too. So it's
know,
just kind of
yeah.
like once it does feel like, yeah, like we're faking or we're kind of just like playing it,
Yeah,
like we're just kind of
yeah,
playing around. But it feels different than us just like FaceTiming. It just
100%.
feels like a podcast. Feels like something fun that we've always talked about, and it's cool that we're just like, I don't know, fuck it, like we're finally just
Yeah.
sending it, kind of doing it. So
Yep. I agree. I
um,
agree.
feels good
I
to
feel,
do that, at least, at the very least.
how have you been doing, and what you've been up to? How's life been going for you?
Been good. Like this past weekend, I don't know if you know, but a lot of my roommates, like Bren, Trey, and Just, they all moved out this past year.
Yep.
So I'm here in LA, and I didn't really want to move out this year because I was traveling a lot, had a lot of things going on,
Hmm.
both for work and personal. So this just felt like a good home base, and I'm just comfortable being here. I just didn't want to move ship yet, at least for one more year. So yeah, my sister lives with me now,
Yeah.
and her two friends,
Mhm.
Kyra and Tyra, who I've known since like they're all like little sisters to me.
Yeah, yeah, like
But of
baby
course, it
days,
was
right?
a yeah. Of course, it's a change. Like once they roll in, like as soon as they roll
Yeah.
in, like I come back home from work and they're like demolishing, they're like demoing the living room, like searching it up. I'm like, bro, at least they're taking down like like Justin's picture, bro. Like they swapped it out. I was like, bro, that
Wow.
was my one memory. That's my one memory of Just. Like, Tay, like, where'd you?
Dang.
No, she's like, oh no, we can keep it
Without kinda,
up. But
like,
like,
talking to you about it, or
she was
they
like,
just
"Oh no,"
kinda
but
like
it's like, "Yeah, look, they." I mean, they tried to keep it like it doesn't look. It looks good. My sister's all about like aesthetic, and she's like OCD about
yeah,
that kind
yeah,
of shit.
yeah.
But I was like, okay, the one thing, like, just leave my wall, like, just leave my wall. So I saw my big
The
Interstellar and my
nice.
Dark Knight poster up, but they're like, "Can you at least get a frame for it?" I was like, "Yeah, maybe I'll get a frame for it." But so it's like everything looks pretty aesthetic, and like black and white
Gotcha.
aesthetic, and then there's the one wall where it's just like my ripped up posters.
It sounds like times are changing over there.
Yeah, which is fine. Like they're gonna take
Yeah,
over this place and everything. I just as long as I have some of my like keep some of my
yeah,
dignity here to like
yeah.
come on, like
Some of the old memories.
yeah, gotta keep it on like a little bit, but keep it going. But anyways, this past weekend we celebrated Kyra's birthday.
Nice.
So they all invited us and her and her friends and everything. And we just went on one of those Duffies out in Marina Del Rey, Duffy boats.
The little boats, yeah,
The
yeah,
little
yep,
boats, Marina Del Rey.
mhm,
So it was a surprise for her. So it was fun and everything. But yeah, it had me thinking. We shared a moment on a Duffy as
yeah,
well
yep,
a few years ago. But we're out in the Duffy, and I was able to get behind the wheel for a second, and it was just during sunset too. In terms of like pairing a sunset with an activity,
mhm,
being on a boat out on like the open water, there's not
mhm,
much that can beat that in terms of
yeah,
just like a sunset and being on like a boat
yeah,
on a nice day, nice clear day. Yeah, it's up there. So I was wondering why it felt very nice and having like a drink in your hand, a beer or something in your hand as well.
yeah,
Um, it's
yeah,
nice. It's relaxing. So that was a good to relax and get away from the stresses of like work and
mhm.
everything right now. But
I think it's like that something about like a sunset, just in
yeah,
general, like it at least for I know for me, it really kind of brings me to the present moment. It's the beauty almost takes over, and you kind of
yeah,
just are there, and um, it's hard to be like a nice sunset in general, but when you're out there in the sea, and you just got the blue horizon in front of you,
yeah. Just the
got like a
horizon,
little
right?
yeah,
That's it.
yeah, got like a little drink and stuff. I know for us, maybe it was like the Duffy and the cigar and
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
after the championship.
yeah.
Um, but that's true. It's hard to beat being out in the open water and just watching the sunset.
Yeah, but it's reminded me of the time that we had on that Duffy, and
Yeah,
every time I get on one of those like little Duffy boats, it's like it's a cherry time. It's just like it's a
yeah,
fun time, like no matter
yeah.
what. Um, like I wish we just had one or something like that. Although I know
Yeah,
boats
that'd
are
be
like bad
awesome.
investments and everything, but um, yeah, I
I
really like being out there. Honestly, I want to get
yeah,
out there more.
I feel like a Duffy, like, might be, in a way, like, not as bad of an investment because it's like I would assume it's, probably cheaper than, like, one of those,
Probably
and stuff, and
right.
it would just be kinda nice, and in a way, like, I feel like investments are all, like, interpretive of, like, what you get back, and
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like just, like, those experiences are almost, they don't have a number of, the amount of joy and, presence and everything it brings and all that stuff, so
yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'm realizing more. I guess that yeah, just like being on the water. As much as that, like as a
mhm,
kid, I got seasick a lot, and I
mhm.
still do to this day if it's really bad
Yeah,
out
same.
there,
Yeah.
which is a bummer because I do love being out in the water and just like out
Mhm.
there in the ocean and everything. Anyways, yeah. How have you been? How's
Dude,
everything
been
going with
good.
you?
Been good, dude. Right now, on, like, probably, like, a deeper, heavier note, really just kind of in, like, a period of my life where it's a time of probably, a lot of change kinda going on, and I feel like even with our age right now, at mid-20s, where I think a lot of us are still trying to figure out, what we're trying to do and,
Yeah. No,
what
for real.
yeah, so I think it's like that uncertainty that, can be intimidating. So I think my response has been just, grinding a lot and been working hard and just do with it, whether it be this podcast, trying to do a personal podcast as well. I'm about to reach out to a bunch of like the college and universities in Oregon, the football teams to like try and talk to the teams and stuff like that about getting the players prepared for life outside of football.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Because yeah, I think for a lot of football players that's a challenge. So yeah, just like a lot of different side quests going on right now for me. um,
And that's all right, bro. That's good.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
At least
yeah.
I feel like that's the most important thing too. Like,
Mhm.
likewise, I feel like I'm going through a period of my life where, yeah, for the first time, I'm feeling like legit anxiety about future things and like
Yeah.
establishing being, stability and all that. And like
Mhm.
where we go from here, really setting up your like the legitimate life and career that you want, for
Yep.
you and your family and everything. So it's a
Exactly.
lot to
Yeah.
kind of soak in being like a few years out of college in
Yeah.
your mid 20s, but it's a for real
Yep.
feeling. But yeah, the one thing that I like you that I just have to do is like continue to just show up every day and
Yeah.
like just keep going. Things
Yeah.
will hopefully play out. You just got to believe in that, even though things take time and things change. I could have never predicted I'd be, I don't know, have done what I've done this past year, or like I don't
Mhm.
know what is going to happen in a year, and that
Mhm.
makes me I overthink a lot too. So it's intimidating and it's a lot, and there's so much going on, but just continue to show up and yeah, that's what I have to remind myself. But yeah, it's a good reminder
Yeah.
that
No, dude.
everyone's
Totally
going through
agree.
it too, like around our
Yep.
age. So
Totally agree.
yeah,
And definitely, feeling like some anxiety and everything. But I think in a way too, it's been a lot of excitement and maybe that perspective is kind of something that is pushing me to just keep on taking different steps, whether, it's hard too because you don't know what step is the right step, I guess, either and stuff. But it's like the
yeah,
excitement of what could be that's been like just making me take a bunch of steps all over the place and trying to discover, what clicks and what I find like that joy and passion in. Yeah, and just being able to do a podcast like this with you and stuff, like you kind of talk about the life that you want to live, the type of career you want to live. Like it's hard to imagine anything better than being able to do a podcast with my best friend and um, just like seeing it through and stuff. So, um,
yeah.
yeah, this has been like something that's definitely been pushing me and inspiring me. And yeah, I think overall I just feel inspired to for that to evolve and take that next chapter.
And it's a lot. It's a lot to soak in because at the same time you're like, oh, you're also young, but you have to
Mhm.
establish yourself. So this is like making
That
like and
balance.
saving money, but also like experiencing as much as you
Yeah,
can because this is like the time where you can before you have more responsibility.
totally,
I think there's a
totally.
meme of like in your mid 20s, you're just like all these different things are being tossed at you. Like, oh, I got to focus on relationship. I got to focus on
Mhm.
work. I got to focus on, but it's okay. I think
Totally,
we're all
totally. Yeah.
figuring it out. And yeah, that's one thing I'm glad about this podcast at least is, I don't know what this is going to turn into or what will happen
Mhm.
with this, but I'm just glad that, yeah, we're able to meet and just like, it keeps me grounded at least. And it just
Mhm.
keeps me like a reminder that, yeah, my best friend and you being there for me and I'm there for you.
Yes, sir.
Um, and we're able to just like kind of go through life together and just be different phases of our lives where we have our challenges and,
Mhm.
things aren't as great, but, um, at least we're, when we get together, it can always just be like two friends just catching up and,
Mhm.
reflecting, having a good time, making jokes. It's just that's something that we can just carry and can be a guarantee, I think, through all these different phases
Yeah,
of life. So
100%.
um, yeah,
100%.
appreciate you,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah.
Of course, yeah, I appreciate it too, my brother.
Yeah.
And I think this kind of goes directly into a duo I've been reflecting about. But before I kind of go into that, just like on a lighter note, we have been going through like a fruit fly infestation at our house. So
Oh, fuck.
you're
Yeah,
going
that's
through
good.
like a sister and friends infestation, I guess, and I'm
Yeah,
going through
yeah.
a fruit fly infestation, and
Oh, damn.
yeah, they've been, making their way, into, the bathroom that, I share with a roommate and my room, and so, the last kinda day and a half, it's been, a battle, just, starting to get traps and
Oh,
everything,
shit.
and,
Yeah.
every night when I, like, go into the bathroom to shower and stuff, it's just dude, it's insane. It's like and for me, it's like when I see all these fruit flies around, instantly, like, I see red. It's just, like, in my space and everything, so I, like dude, so every night I, because our bathroom, I don't know what it is, but, like, I'll, like, wipe them out, like, like, T-shirt and just, like, for probably 15 minutes, just, like, take
Holy
them out
shit.
and stuff, like, battle,
Yeah.
and then by
Yeah.
the next day, 50 more fruit flies spawn. It's like more spawn it's almost like
Bruh,
the
did you get
Hydra.
traps?
Yeah, so I got traps. I'm hoping
Okay.
that could, like, help to, like, resolve the
Oh, you buy
problem, but
oh, if she
yeah.
should. In college, my old roommates, not gonna name any names, but they used to, like, leave plenty dishes, like,
Mhm.
stuff in the just leave it,
Yep.
and, like, for a day or 2. This is, just boys in college, but, like and then, yeah, one day I, like, walked to the kitchen, and I got, like, literally tornadoed by,
Dude,
like a swarm of, like, fruit
fruit
flies.
flies,
I was
yep.
like, "What the fuck?" I was, like, pissed, dude.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
pissed. And I
It's
was
the
like,
worst
"Bro, you gotta
feeling.
do it sucks, like, it's gross, like, they're insane."
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
looked it up quick, but one thing that did, like, kinda solve it was, like so once you finish a bottle of wine or whatever, and just,
uh-huh.
like they said to just, like, leave it open, and the fruit flies get attracted to that, and then they go into the bottle or the mouth of
Interesting.
it, and then they get stuck in there or whatever. So that
Dang,
helped a
okay.
little bit, honestly. They
Yeah.
all, like, attracted so they're attracted to, like, the sweet smells
Mhm.
and everything, and then I'm sure with the bathroom, it's just probably, like, the light or something
Yeah,
at
yeah.
night, but yeah, they can be yeah, I've been through that. It sucks,
Dude,
it's annoying. But hopefully
it
the traps will figure it
yeah.
out.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I got, like, those, like, the little apple, like, it looks like a fake apple and stuff, and you spray, like, some liquid in there that I think attracts them, so
Yeah.
I'm hoping that this does the trick and everything. Yeah, on a lighter note, that's kinda been, like, a separate side quest, I guess, for me right
An unexpected side quest.
yeah, unexpected side quest,
Um
yeah.
I guess, yeah, I mean, I don't they're not fruit flies, but there's these, like, plant flies or something. So I've been, like, kinda taking care of, like, the house plants now because Brand used to kinda be, like, the dude who was, like,
Mhm, mhm.
really into plants, and he was doing all of them, but I had a few. So since then, I've just had to, like, keep on it, like, especially, like,
Yeah,
we have a monstera, like, what you call a zebra plant and just
mhm.
peace lily stuff, like, outside in the living room. So I'm, like, kinda have to take care of them. But, like, I repotted a bunch of them, and then, like, all of a sudden, these little, like, flies started
What?
spawning, like, these little, like, plant flies, annoying ones. So I
Dang.
started killing and they get attracted onto the sliding door where the light was. So
Yep,
I tried to
exactly.
kill them all too, but then
Yep.
they kept kinda, like, buzzing around. So I don't know. So then I tried, like, hydrogen peroxide and water mixture just to, like, kill them and everything, and then but, but that's another thing that's been I don't know if you guys have, like, plants in the house and everything, but that's been another thing that kinda it's like you see it, like, it's kinda sort of it's a weird I'm gonna sound corny right now, but in the meta way, it's like, you know, you take care of and you
Mhm.
slowly nurture and take care of a plant and everything, and, like, slowly you don't see a growth, like, day to day,
Yeah.
but, like,
Yep,
over time you take a look, like, a month or 2 later,
yep.
you see how much change and how much growth has happened, like, to these things, and it's just like every day just showing up, you like you're watering it, you're just taking care of it here and there on the side. So I think that's the cool thing about I don't know, having to take
Yeah,
care of,
dude.
like, plants now because it's just
Yeah,
kinda
that's awesome, dude.
it is like you do like, you don't notice it, like, when I first got them, it's like, oh, yeah, the first week you're like, "Oh, you want this thing to, like, sprout, like, get going and
Mhm.
everything," or you see, like, a little change, and then, like, after a week or 2, you notice, like, a little thing, another thing take root or like sprout, or like another leaf like kind of a stem reach out or
Uh-huh.
whatever. And then like 2 days later you see it unfurl, and there's even more like leaves or whatever on monstera plants. And then like you look a month or two later and it's like a whole different thing, and then you have to like move it into a bigger pot or whatever, and then
Yeah.
just like seeing the growth. So it's a good reminder. Like it's a good, first of all, it's a good way to stay grounded for me, like in this industrial, I don't know, just in LA,
Mm.
it's like a
Yeah.
dusty, building city where I'm in, at least in like, Culver City area. But secondly, yeah, it's kind of metaphorical to me
Mhm.
too, to just like, okay, remind myself, okay, just slowly just take it day by day, put in the work every single day. And yeah, the results will show after a while, but you just got to
Mhm.
keep at it. Like it's not going to show immediately.
Mhm.
Like I'm kind of eager to see is like, I always have wanted like immediate results. Like, okay, I need this to be this way, or I want change to happen, but change takes a while. And
Exactly.
yeah, so I don't know how the conversation
Yeah.
got
No.
there, but
No, dude, I mean, I love that. It's a representation for growth. It's a
yeah,
representation of, yeah, I mean, like, a lot of parts of life where even, like, relationships, and stuff, like,
yeah,
it's like a slow process where you just have to show up sometimes and continue to water it and feed it and nourish it, and with time, it'll grow,
yeah.
and I think, that kinda goes into even just, like, the duo I've been thinking about recently, and, it's probably because here in Portland, we're starting to get a change where, the summers, it's like 90s, 80s, clear skies, and we're now entering, it's like 60s, overcast, and we're starting to make that change. But the duo I've been thinking about and reflecting on is, summer and winter. And,
Mm.
you know,
Something
of
we
cour
don't experience at all, I mean,
yeah,
sort of.
a little
Like, if
bit.
anything, maybe just to change it, like, cold to hot, but, like, not nearly as much as you
Yeah.
guys do.
Well, and when we grew up, like, we didn't experience it at all in
Oh,
Hawaii,
no. No seasons, yeah.
no seasons and
Yeah.
stuff. So in a way, it's like it is a blessing, but after having, experienced like 6, 7 different season changes now, you kind of realize that when the seasons don't change, you take what you have for granted a lot of times. At least that was my experience with being in Hawaii. Like
Mm.
when I was in Hawaii, when it was sunny and a nice day, almost went over
Mhm.
my head. Couldn't even like, yeah, couldn't wasn't ever grounded within
Mm.
it, you know?
Mhm.
And then when it was rain, it was also kind of normal. You always say that's like saying, "Oh, passing showers,"
Yeah.
and it's like that's just all it is. It's just passing, and you're not ever grounded in the rain either.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that's the thing with having experienced like seasons, you are kind of like really grounded in with where you're at, and
Mm.
um, and of course, like the winters are hard, especially at first when you're first going through it and you really have to adjust to this change. And, you see the leaves all gone off the trees. It's all barren and cold, rainy here in Portland, snowy some other places.
Mhm.
Um, Dark. It gets dark really early. That's another thing that, you don't experience in Hawaii. But then it's like through this that when you do have sunny days or when the summer does come, you appreciate it and you like really try to max out that time. And I know in Portland, like
Yeah.
it's so evident. Like when it's a sunny day, you could tell people are more lively. Like the city is bustling with people. People are smiling. It's like everything kind of comes to life. Um, and I think it's because everyone had to go through the winter and they had to go through that time.
Huh. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
was gonna ask is, yeah, we have a sports betting chat that your roommate,
Yeah.
Matt's a part
Yeah.
of. But every once in a while, at least for the past like month, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm heading up," or like I'm going somewhere. I'm just like heading up to Washington or something, or I'm going
Mm.
to. I don't know if that was for work or something, or if that was part of like just getting out and going to enjoying the summer while it lasts. But my question is just like, yeah, does
Yeah.
that the change of seasons? It does, I guess. I'd assume it gives more reason for you guys to make the most of the summer days and try to get out as much as possible, which I think would be a great thing. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
just get it in before the winter comes, right?
Totally. Totally. Yeah, dude. I mean, like like at this point it's like you have a set amount of time where you're able to go to the river, jump in the water, all of that. I think because of that, it's like, yeah, you really try to get out and take advantage of it. Ultimately too, it's like, there's like the physical seasons that you go through, and I'm kind of talking about how I've grown with these seasons and stuff. But I think ultimately, kind of like your plant example, this is just a metaphor and a representation for life. We all kind of go through uh these different seasons
Yeah.
of growth, of development, and even like our like relationships
Yeah.
are constantly going through different seasons.
Hmm.
And you kind of like learn to be present in each season. The one thing I like was kind of reflecting on too is recently, me and some of the roommates, we've been snowboarding in the winter,
Yeah.
and we've been really enjoying. We enjoy the winter. We enjoy the snowstorms. If it's raining here, we know it's snowing on the mountain, which is good for us and everything. And through finding joy,
Mm.
gratitude, and appreciation for the winter, it made the winters go by quicker and the springs come a little earlier. Because, and it's hard because the winters and the hard times, the dark times are tough. But if you're able to find even gratitude in those times, I think the time of growth will come a little bit earlier for all of us and stuff. So,
Yeah. That reminds
yeah.
me of a song. The song Nosedive in the
Nosedive.
Post Malone album.
Who's it by?
Um, is Post Malone, the new Post Malone album, F1 Trillion.
Nosedive. Okay,
Um,
I don't know if I heard
okay,
that
check
one.
out Nosedive. It's him and Lady Wilson. It's an awesome duo just start
Mm,
off with, but they're talking about there's beauty in the nosedive. Like sometimes you're done, sometimes it's
mm,
like about seasons and like sometimes you have down seasons, sometimes not, but like there's always beauty. There's some type of beauty within like, the storm and like
yeah,
the waves and kind of going through the tough things. There's always good beauty like in the end of
yeah,
it and like on the other side. So it's funny too, because sometimes I feel in the best weather, even in summer, a lot of people can be going through dark and
mm,
gloomy times internally, and then like
internally, yeah,
opposite, like and it just if it's dark and gloomy outside, maybe there's something great happens. And it's
mm,
just, yeah, just like you said, being present is a weird thing.
It's hard.
Yeah,
It's
how
really hard, especially with like the way our world is today, with all the technology, everything, like all the stimulation constantly going on. It's really hard to be present where you're at,
yeah,
um, and in a way, it almost makes us less able to really go through these hard times and stuff because we don't have too much experience with presence and stuff, and um, gratitude, because life just, it's constantly moving.
yeah,
And maybe it was like that before and stuff, but I imagine with uh, technology and just how fast the world and information moves now, I imagine it's a little different now.
yeah, yeah. That's why I love visiting Portland and just Oregon in general, just the Northwest.
Hmm.
Coast, just because, yeah, it's very grounding to just get up
Hmm.
there and just be in nature, just get
Hmm.
away from the big like cities and just LA, because LA, as you know, is constantly bustling, everything's always
Yeah,
moving and changing, and it doesn't
yeah,
stop for you, and you're just
yeah,
tossed into it. And there's a lot of exciting and fun and exciting things to experience here, and there's a lot
yeah,
going on, like a lot of action here. But it's hard sometimes,
yeah,
yeah, to take a step back and just be present with just like where you're at and everything. So
yeah.
going
So are you doing anything right now, like to kind of help you find like a sense of grounding? I know you talked about doing the plants and everything, which I'm sure that brings some sense of
Yeah,
it.
there's small things here and there. But one thing that we've been blessed with is actually, you talk about going to winter. This past summer, it's been hot in LA, like hot, hot, record
Gotcha.
hot, bro. Like, so
Dang.
even like in some places, I think it was like Rancho or the Valley, it hit record temperatures. It was like damn near 117 to 119 degrees, dude,
Sheesh.
like sweltering, like, you know what I
Dude.
mean?
Yeah.
But luckily out here it wasn't as bad, but still, it's like in this 80s, 90s, high 80s, 90s. So, uh, yeah, we're lucky enough to have like this kayak that Dylan's family has,
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
we were able to take that out on the weekend, just get on the water, go to Malibu, different places, Marina, Torrance, just get on the water, get on the beach. It was very grounding and relaxing. It's just, to get out in the sun, just get away from the city and everything. That was one way I think that
That's
helped
awesome.
ground myself. But yeah, I don't know. Do you still do another thing I've been into or picking up again recently is like yoga, or at least
Mm,
hot yoga in the
yeah.
mornings. Just getting to class. Yeah. And just being part of that community and just really sweating it out, just being present
Mhm.
there on the mat is it's been good for the mental.
I feel like in yoga, the hard part for me is you're so present in your body, but my body is so tight that it's like to stay present in like a body that's really hard to move through the motions. It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, it's challenging. Just staying still is challenging. But yeah, how about you? I mean, you mentioned snowboarding and
Yeah.
everything, but are there anything that you've done weekly,
Yeah.
daily that has helped
Yeah, dude.
kind of keep you present?
Presence has become something really important for me. It started with like football. And having to be in the present moment each play. I struggled with it when I was young in college, where I would have a bad play
Mm,
and I wasn't good the rest of the game. Like my head
mm,
was so focused on the bad play, and more
mhm,
bad plays will happen. And it's like that endless cycle that you kind of go through. And I just wanted to become the best football player I could be. And so I remember studying Kobe Bryant's meditation practices,
mm.
and everything. And hearing that really motivated me to practice meditation. And so, yeah, I've since then have really grown in that habit. And yeah, I think with that, I've found ways to be really intentional and present as much as I can throughout the day and stuff. Sometimes I'll just go on a walk and just try
Yeah.
to be present with what's going on around me.
Mhm.
Just like little moments and stuff, because it's, dude, yeah, like we kind of been saying, it's just so hard sometimes to be present and stuff. And I know sometimes with the work I do, it's long and kind of tiring and stuff, so even just stepping away from the
Yep.
computer and just getting out can just be really grounding and stuff. So
Totally.
yeah,
I
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, just yeah, yesterday I didn't really want to make this. I had to go back to this place called Baron Hats because we did a shoot with them. I had to grab something,
Mm,
and it's out in downtown LA. And I was like, I was working from home, so I was just editing, kind of doing stuff on the computer all day. So I was like, I don't really want to make a trek out, but it ended up being really nice because I
mm.
ended up going there and just being in like downtown, or was it downtown LA? But anyways, I was there, and have you heard of Broken Mouth?
Broken mouth, no.
So it's the Broken Mouth is the highest rated restaurant to
Oh,
exist on Yelp ever. And
oh,
it's actually this
wow.
dude. It's a Hawaiian. It's a local restaurant. It's a Hawaiian restaurant. They serve like meat
Oh,
jun and stuff, and it's in
oh,
downtown. Yeah, so it's like literally a block from this
damn.
place that we shot at. So I was like, okay, since I parked here, like I gotta check it out. So I
Yeah.
went over there. I couldn't. I ended up and this guy Tim. His name is Tim Lee. Yeah, but he's
Okay.
from Marinol actually. So I've talked to him before. He's a funny guy. He's a cool guy too. But he was like, "Oh, did you order on online?" And I was like, "Oh no." He's, "Oh, sorry. It's gonna be like 35 to 45 minutes because they're closed on Sunday, Monday, so they get really busy on Tuesday." But anyways, we connected, and I've been doing like kind of the restaurant reels and social
Yep.
media marketing for Kazan,
Yep.
Beverly Hills. So I mentioned like, oh, if you guys ever need, some work or some, social media reel work or social media marketing, like I do some stuff on the side. And then he's, oh yeah, DM me. He's like, I've been kind of looking for trying to coordinate that right now. So
Wow.
um, there's just things like getting out there. I was like, oh, that's funny. And then so I was like, okay, I'm not going to be able to wait to get food here. So I was like, I'm gonna walk to this
Mm.
other place, Yuko Kitchen. And on the way past the walk, bro, I pass by. I see this restaurant, old looking green, emerald green and gold restaurant. Um, and it's Cole's, the restaurant, the Cole's French Dip, the one that we talked
Oh,
about
no
on the
ways.
podcast. Yeah,
Whoa.
like just the other day. I was like,
Did you
"Oh,
stop?
shit." I was like, "Bruh, I'm gonna get this."
Yeah.
But it wasn't open yet. Yeah, it wasn't open yet, but I was like, "Oh, bruh." I was like, "I'm literally right here." Like, all I didn't realize it was even there. I didn't know where this
Wow.
place was, but it literally says Cole's, like, originator of the French dip on it and everything, and I was like, "Oh, bruh, like,
Keeping it
we gotta
alive.
yeah, we gotta go there." Well,
Yeah.
like, next time you're here, we'll check it out, and
Let's do
we'll
Coles and,
Cole's and
Philippe
Philippe's, whatever.
Philippe's, yeah.
Yeah, and we can see which one
Yep.
at least is better. Or we
Yeah,
can I
I
do
agree.
wanna get their sides of the story too and just be like, "Oh, what do you think about
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
other
maybe we can
place or
even, like,
whatnot?"
document that, and stuff
I
with
know,
the
I thought it would be
video.
fun. But
Yeah,
anyways,
that'd be
yeah.
awesome.
It was just good to get outside and just experience, like, okay, yeah, this is like
Yeah.
I don't get to see this side of LA a lot.
Yep.
But I don't know where I was going with that. But like you said, yeah, it's good to just like
Yeah, just move.
get outside and just like
Yeah.
walk around because you never know who you run into or like what conversations will happen. And
I feel like movement in general is one of the best ways to just find presence. It's cool too because like I feel like you could have easily have just walked past that restaurant, and
yeah,
just say because I mean I feel like so many people they get so stuck in like, oh, I'm going to this place, and stuff.
yeah.
Um,
On
but
your phone, like looking
exactly,
down, like just
exactly,
not
not
looking up.
exactly,
Like,
not
yeah,
looking up, dude. That's like something I've been. I feel like since with the practice of presence and grounding, I've noticed that a lot more of people not looking up at the world around them. I feel like it's a bummer, It's there's so much like beauty, and you don't know what you're going to be able to find. Yeah, no, I mean, dude,
dude,
yeah, that was a good talk
it's a good
and
talk.
stuff. I feel like we kind of like this episode was like very meta with like the
I know it went a lot
yeah
deeper than I thought it would.
yeah
I thought this was
yeah
gonna be just like
yeah
a little a chit chat, but I guess that's what happens with us when we get,
yeah yeah
especially when we haven't talked like
yeah
for real like that in a while. Like
mhm,
it's bound to
for
come
sure.
up, and that's something that
Yeah
I've always appreciated about our conversations. Is like, yeah, you're able to just get like down to it and like real about shit
mhm,
sometimes, and it's important to have those talks,
yeah
with people you're close to, at least
yeah
once in a while. Yeah,
yeah. I don't know if we have those conversations with the people around us often enough, of just reflecting on where we are and yeah, just the world itself. And with like the whole summer and winter thing, I
mm,
like thought about how it ties into relationships and people and partnerships and everything like that, and how this can like apply to us and whoever's listening. Everyone's kind of going through their own season, and meeting them where they're at I think is so important. And it made me reflect on me and you, how we as a duo have gone through our seasons, ups and downs and everything. But we've also gone through our own personal seasons. And I know for me at least, and I hope it would be the same the other way. But I know for me, there's been some winters that I've gone through, and just the aspect of you being there for me um, meant everything. And I feel like it strengthened us, you know,
yeah,
because I'm sure I wasn't
yeah,
the easiest person to be around when I was going through that winter, and stuff. And but just the aspect that you were there and stuff, I feel like made us stronger and
yeah.
everything. So yeah, that was like a big takeaway. So another appreciation to you, bro.
Oh yeah, thank you. But I mean, likewise, it goes the same way back. Whenever I'm going through something, I gotta get something off my chest. I'm dealing with a decision I have to make or whatnot. I know you're always there for me to like
Mhm.
bounce off of, and again, yeah, to keep me grounded and to really remind me the important things of life, because I can get wrapped up, especially like living in the city and everything, in a lot
Mhm.
of things that at the end of the day is like it's not the biggest deal, and like and things that I shouldn't really worry about as much or like use all of my energy on, I guess. And so you remind me of
Mhm.
like what truly is important, and I know you've had my back, through all of my storms and my seasons. So I appreciate that, brother. And
Mhm.
yeah, it's just like I know it's important to have people like this in your life, and
Yeah.
you realize the real ones, and like
Yep.
the ones who are actually there for you through thick and thin. Not only when it's because that's when it's most important, right? Like not only when it's
Yeah.
when things are good and cherry and you're
Yeah.
doing well, like of course you want to rise up together and have a good time all together. But it's like really when you're in the shitter, when you're like going through it, um, that's when these relationships are like most important. And not only relationships to people, but relationships to like what you do on a daily, like your practices,
Mm,
like your yoga, your,
yeah,
like you said, just an activity like a hobby like snowboarding and stuff like that, stuff that can get you in the present and
yeah,
grounded. Those things are so important, especially in those dips, in the nosedive
yeah,
of
yeah,
things. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yep.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
nosedive. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And it's always that reminder of how blessed I am to have people and family like you in my life, where you're able to through whatever the season be. It's like that they're there for everyone. And when someone's going through a bad season, if you're able to just be there, and it's not always going to be easy and stuff, but just the presence of you being there means the world. I'm looking forward to more of these conversations and everything, and
Mhm.
I don't imagine all of them being this deep. I'm sure there's going to be some,
No, like someone will
like
just
much
be, I'm sure
later.
someone will just be in
Yeah,
tangents and like
yeah,
us just goofing
yeah,
around
yeah,
and shit.
exactly.
We're
Yeah, we
talking
we
about
we
good
haven't had, like,
times.
a talk like this in a minute, so that's probably why, we got so, meta and deep and everything.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's gonna be a whole mixture of all the different, emotions and feelings and everything like that. So, for everyone listening, yeah, how do you guys feel like what do you guys think about this aspect of seasons? How do you guys approach your partnerships and your own duos and collaborations throughout the different seasons? And maybe like because we were talking a lot about the aspect of grounding and presence, what
Mhm.
are some ways that you guys maybe stay present and grounded amidst the common chaoses of life?
Yeah.
And appreciate everyone who gave this a listen. Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, whatever platform you're listening to. Please give us a follow so you guys can stay up to date with everything that me and Cart got going on, and all the different competitions we got coming up. We got the NFL one coming up, so that's gonna be a
Yeah.
fun one.
That's gonna be a fun
Yeah.
one.
You think that's a wrap?
Yep. I think that's a wrap.
Yes, sir. All right. See you
All
guys
right.
later.
See you guys next time.